All right, good evening. I'd like to call the North Aurora Village Board meeting for Monday, February 19th, 2024 to order. Please join me in silent prayer and meditation. Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Mayor Gaffino.
Here.
Trustee Christensen.
Here.
Trustee Curtis. Trustee Gately.
Here.
Trustee Lowry.
Here.
Trustee Nedved.
Here.
Trustee Salazar. Here.
All right, thank you. I have a proclamation to read tonight. It's Cholangiocarcinoma Awareness Month, where as bile duct cancer starts in the bile duct, the thin tube that reaches the liver to the small intestine, and whereas an estimated 8,000 people in the United States develop bile duct cancer each year, with 70 being the average age which it is found. And whereas foundations, research, and teaching hospitals, rare cancer advocacy groups, patient advocacy groups from around the globe have joined forces to recognize February as Bile Duct Cancer Month. And whereas increased bile duct cancer awareness, research, education will bring improved outcomes for patients, early detection, treatment, and potential curative methods. And now therefore be acclaimed that I, Mark Gaffino, Village President, and the Board of Trustees of North Aurora recognize February 2024 to be Bile Duct Cancer Awareness Month, and to encourage all to observe, support the awareness of this day, and research for the treatment and cure in the Village of North Aurora. All right, thank you. I have a presentation now of Brian.
Thank you, Mayor. This is for our NPDES public hearing. The Illinois Environmental Protection Agency regulates pollutants entering the water in the state. The National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System is a program administered by the agency to improve water quality. This designation requires that the village obtain a general NPDES permit and operate and manage its stormwater system in compliance with the regulations outlined in the permit. The NPDES report runs from March of the previous year to March of the current year. At the conclusion of the report, the village must file a report and demonstrate compliance. Tommy Burton is here from Kane DuPage Soil and Water Conservation District for a short presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, board. So I am Tommy Purdom. I'm a resource analyst with the Kane DuPage Soil and Water Conservation District. We are out of St. Charles, but we work within the borders of Kane and DuPage counties. So we are a locally organized, operated governmental agency. We're created by state law to promote the protection, maintenance, improvements, and wise use of soil, water, and other natural resources within our boundaries. So we're cooperatively working with individuals, groups, and units of government, providing technical assistance as well as educational programs regarding natural resource conservation. Often within the district, we're responsible for development and implementation of soil erosion sediment control programs. So that's what I'm here to talk about a little bit with the North Aurora program for their NPDES program specifically. So while we do help with NPDES compliance, we are not a regulatory authority. So we are kind of the boots on the ground inspectors and reference for, in this case, with the municipality with North Aurora. So we also have contracts with the Illinois EPA as well as Army Corps of Engineers to provide technical assistance with that. So our memorandum of understanding back with North Aurora was created in 2002 and adopted. So that's between the village, between the Soil Water Conservation District, as well as the Natural Resource Conservation Service. So through this, the village will notify the district upon receipt of any projects for land development or through contractors for their proposals for anything over 2 acres. And then direct that to us for our soil erosion and sediment control process. How our process kind of works is we will have the applicants apply to us with their plans and any narratives of the specific project, and we will review them for any specific compliance, whether it's stormwater ordinance or the NPDES specific construction and MS4 related issues with that. So we will review that for technical reference standard, make sure any details and drawings are up to that, and any notes or notes within that narrative are going to match that. We'll send back with any revisions or any questions we have the specific projects. And then once we have all of the things addressed and answered, we'll issue an approval. When that approval occurs, then we'll have a pre-construction meeting, typically with the village, with any contractors or subcontractors. So we're all on the same page before any project will begin. Once that pre-construction meeting has occurred, we will begin inspections when the general construction has begun. Typically during the main phases of that, mass grading and any other site-specific information where there's going to be large areas of bare soil, we want to make sure that we're inspecting on a regular basis. It will be different depending on the site and the scope of the project, but specifically to make sure that any of those BMPs protects our soil and water are being adhered to. Once those projects had become close to final closeout, we'll be requested for closeout reports to make sure the site has been fully stabilized. So any vegetated areas will have 70% coverage within that area, and then anything will be taken care of so they can file their notice of termination with the IEPA if they have that NPDES ILR 10 permit. At the moment, we currently have about a dozen active projects that we're currently inspecting on our normal basis, depending on what's time the project's in site. And then we have a couple that are in review or not yet started as well, with a specific MOU in North Aurora. And with that, just want to say that we're available for technical assistance. We have other programs within our district too, so we are open for any calls from the village, from any officials, as well as any citizens or anyone within that. So just want to thank you for your time. And if there's any questions or anything, feel free to let me know or contact the office. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yep. All right, audience comments. Bill Sliker, would you like to come up?
I just wanted to, Bill Slaker, 129 South Lincoln Way. I just wanted to thank the village and specifically Public Works. This last big storm we had, South Lincoln Way was getting shut down. On the east side, the outside lane was gone or almost gone. And on the west side, the outside lane was gone and the inside lane was getting filled up. And they'd already, IDOT had already gone through and pushed the snow back. They had a wall there. And you had cars that basically were now almost coming nose to nose, different directions, you know, on the highway. And so IDOT brought this machine in. This it's like an oversized, this huge machine. It's like a big snow blower. And they came along and they were working the street, and the stream that came out of it was this white, black, and gray. So you know what the black and the gray was like coming out. And then they followed up with like this big plow with extra blades on it to take and, you know, push stuff back and whatnot. And that was, you know, that was a good thing. And they could not see the edges of the street or anything else. I mean, this was, you know, kind of an emergency situation. People could have been killed there. So anyhow, but the residue, the fallout from that, most of it was on the west side, and it's a mixture of asphalt and dirt and gravel and you know, these fines and whatnot. And so we went out, because when that melts and when it gets down to rain on it, it's gonna stick in there, and you know, the grass, you know, it's gonna be. So we we're going out and we were shoveling up this combination of snow and dirt and whatnot, and putting it into bags, and we'd punched holes in the bottom of it so it could melt out. And then there's other cleanup and whatnot. Net, we ended up with 70 to 80 plastic bags of this stuff. And Public Works came out and asked, be done with this, and they came out, took care of it, gone, it's just great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Bill.
Thanks for coming in.
All right, on to consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Discussion. Roll please.
Trustee Salazar,
Yes.
trustee Christensen,
Yes.
trustee Curtis, trustee Gately,
Yes.
trustee Lowry,
Yes.
trustee Nedved.
Yes. All right, thank you. Under new business, item 1, Nathan.
Thank you, Mayor. Items 1 and 2 both deal with the commercial vehicle code. If you remember from the last meeting, we have done an amendment to try to match the commercial vehicle code. So Title 10 deals with parking on the streets, and Title 17, which is zoning, deals with what you can park on the private property. And they had differing definitions of what a commercial vehicle was and differing rules. So we went through that process to try to make sure the definitions match and make sure the rules are consistent. And if you remember, this was the definition we came up with. So you're a commercial vehicle if you're A, B, or C. So A, if you're over 12,000 pounds, an F plate. B, if you're a box truck at any plate, or C, if you have a D plate, which is 10,000 to 12,000 pounds, and any one of the following characteristics. That's your bucket truck, lift, towing equipment, ladder storage, things like that. So that was the criteria. So the first ordinance, Title 17 is zoning, Title 10 is streets and traffic. The zoning one went to the Planning Commission because that has to have a public hearing. So it went to the last Planning Commission meeting, and they recommended approval on the zoning side.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Roll please.
Trustee Gately,
Yes.
trustee Lowry,
Yes.
trustee Nedved,
Yes.
trustee Salazar,
Yes.
trustee Christensen,
Yes.
trustee Curtis.
All right, thank you. Item 2, Nathan.
Same thing. That's just the first one is 17. The second one is Title 10.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Roll please.
Trustee Salazar,
Yes.
trustee Christensen,
Yes.
trustee Curtis, trustee Gately,
Yes.
trustee Lowry,
Yes.
trustee Nedved.
Yes.
All right, thank you. That concludes our new business. Under village president report, I have none. Trustee comments? Administrator report?
Just something that I wanted to bring up tonight was the Tanner Trail Storm Sewer project. Wasn't sure if Brian was going to mention or not, but it's been years in the making and it's underway, and many millions of dollars ago, it started off at 1.2 and ended up at 2.8, but it's going, and it's going to be going for the next few weeks, at least probably a couple months.
Yeah, they installed 300 feet of pipe today already. So they're well on their way with that project.
You mean they started it? Started
Yeah,
putting that pipe in?
they started last week with dewatering wells.
Yeah.
And then this week they actually started, today they actually started with laying the pipe, and they laid 300 feet today.
They started on Bennett? Was that
No,
what
they actually started at downstream. So they actually started at the creek first,
worked
and then
the
they're
other way?
working their way back up toward Bennett.
All right, great. Thank you. Department reports? All right, motion adjourned.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. All right, thank you. We'll be starting committee of the whole meeting shortly.